and welcome back to my channel. My name is Catherine, Kat, or Katie. Any of those I go by. So yeah, if you are new to my channel or if you're not new to my channel, this is a different video from what I usually post, so it doesn't really matter. I ended up in October last month applying for EPIK, which stands for English Program in Korea. It's a program that I've known about for years now. Because Asia was always the place that I wanted to teach abroad since I was in middle school. I ended up going to Japan in high school and really enjoying it. And then I did 2 study abroads in South Korea when I was in university and really enjoyed it. So that was always something that I knew I wanted to do. But after I graduated from university, I wanted to try out some different things just to see if maybe I liked anything better. So I was focusing mainly on Europe. Didn't really like it as much. So I am now working with EPIK, and I will be leaving to teach English in Korea next month. There are actually a lot of videos over EPIK applications and all of that, and so I decided to document my own experiences as somebody who is going to be working with them this spring 2020, because every year EPIK does update the application system and just little details here and there, and so this is the latest information that from my own experience that I can share with you guys. So this video is for anybody who is interested in working with EPIK sometime in their future, or is just interested in hearing about people teach abroad. Yeah. Cool. So the EPIK application process can be quite tedious and stressful for many people, especially if you've never applied for any sort of teaching internship. I'm just going to share with you what it was like for me and some tips and tricks for those who want to do it in the future. So yeah, I'm going to be splitting this into 2 parts. The first part will be kind of an introductory to EPIK, which is this video. And then the second video I'll be making is talking about the interview and the post-interview documents and all of that stuff that needs to get done. So yeah, I'm just gonna jump right into it. So EPIK stands for English Program in Korea, and I'm pretty sure it's one of the most well-known programs to teach English in Korea. There's another program called Talk, which I'll get more into later, and then there's also private companies that you can work with, specifically with Hagwons. I'll get into all that later. Let's focus on EPIK right now. So EPIK was established in 1995, a year before I was born, and it works with the Korean Ministry of Education, so it's legit. From what I know and from what I've heard from other people, EPIK deals with public schools. So if you want to work in a public school in South Korea, it's great to go through EPIK. You can work at Hagwons, so there are actually a lot of foreigners who do work at Hagwons, and Hagwons are basically after-school academies, and they are privately owned businesses, so they're more like a business than a school, I would say. Now, I haven't worked at either of them. I haven't worked at a public school in Korea, and haven't worked at a Hagwon in Korea. This is just based on what I've heard from my friends who live in Korea, both Korean and foreigners, and those who teach there, and all of that kind of thing. So a Hagwon is for privates. It's like a privately owned business. And basically the students go there for extra lessons after their normal class time. Now, there are plenty of videos on YouTube about working with EPIK or Hagwons that I highly recommend you check out if you are interested. Particularly if you are interested in working with Hagwons, because I'm not going to be talking about them because I don't know. And I will also leave a link down below to the EPIK official website. So all the information I'm going to be talking about is linked on their website, and it's really organized. It's in English, so you can look things up and whatnot if you want more clarifications, or if you are interested in applying for the next semester, which is actually, I believe they are about to open up the application process if you want to work starting fall 2020. I think they open up in February. I'm not entirely sure. but I mean, you can look on their website. So I'm going to be talking about the guidelines and requirements in order to apply for EPIK, and this is going to be based on the application process for 2020. So every year like I said, there are a ton of people who have made similar videos, and every year things are slightly changing within EPIK, so it's always best to look at their website because they do have the eligibility and requirements and guideline and all that kind of thing on their website, so highly recommend to check that out. But this is what I had to do to apply for spring 2020, probably what most people will have to do if they want to apply for fall 2020. So there are actually 2 times each year that EPIK has applications open for teaching opportunities in Korea, and they run parallel to the actual Korean public school schedule or system. So they have a spring hiring session, and then they also have a fall hiring session. So the spring hiring session for 2020 opened up in August of 2019, and I believe if you want to apply for fall 2020, applications are open in February 2020. So it's kind of flipped. So I applied in October because of the whole Spain debacle in September. And so that was the fastest that I could apply, but I highly recommend to apply the month that they open applications, because the sooner you apply, the less stressful you will be, and also the higher chances of getting a placement that you want or just getting hired in general will happen. So yeah, so now I'm going to get into the eligibility, and this really varies depending on where you're from. Definitely check out the website. They have a tab that says eligibility, I believe, and so you can just look there. But I'm going to get into like the basics for anybody who wants to apply. The first eligibility is you have to be a citizen from a nation where English is the primary language spoken and used. It doesn't have to be the nation's official language, because like contrary to what many believe, the United States doesn't have an official language, but English is the primarily spoken language and used language. In Ireland, the official languages, I think first is Irish and then English. So it doesn't have to be the official language, it just has to be the language that is spoken the most. I have a document filled with all the information, which is why I'm looking over here. So a list of countries that they accept are people from Australia, Canada, Ireland, New Zealand, the United Kingdom, United States, South Africa. They do accept applicants from India as well, but there are certain requirements that you have to do further in order to apply. So the second requirement is that you have to hold a bachelor's degree. You don't necessarily have to have graduated yet when you apply, because there are a lot of people who maybe they are graduating in December. I had to think about that. Maybe they're graduating in December and they applied in August. As long as you can get your bachelor's degree and prove that you have graduated by February when you're supposed to leave, you can apply. It's okay. So you just have to have a bachelor's degree either when you applied or before you leave for South Korea. And depending on what degree you have will influence what salary you can get whenever you apply for them, which I'll get into later. Now, if you do not have a bachelor's degree, or if like you're in university but you really want to try out teaching in Korea, they do have another program called TALK. It stands for TALK. It stands for Teaching Assistant in Korea, I think. I'm assuming. No, Teaching Assistant Language. Teaching Assistant. What does the L stand for? I don't even know. Sorry, I didn't apply for that, so I don't know. But I actually have 2 friends who are currently on the TALK program, and they applied after they finished with their bachelor's, graduating with their bachelor's. They just wanted kind of like a taste of what it would be like to teach in Korea. So I highly recommend, if you've never actually taught English or taught in general, and you've never maybe been abroad, or like that seems very daunting to you, and you don't want to commit to a full-time job teaching in a foreign country, then I recommend Talk, because Talk is very similar to EPIK, but it is kind of an internship instead of a full-time job. So you're only working part-time, and you don't have to have a bachelor's degree. You only have to have 2 completed years of university. So I highly recommend checking out Talk. I'll also leave a link down below for the Talk website. So yeah. If you do not have a bachelor's degree or a master's degree or any sort of degree in education and teaching, then you need a teaching certificate. And you can either get a TEFL certificate, you can get a TESOL certificate, or you can get a CELTA, Kelta. I don't know if you can abbreviate like that. In order to acquire these certificates, you can either do them online, or you can do them in class, like actually go to a class, or you can do like a combination of both. Most people do them online because that's the most convenient, and you can do it at your own time. And it's basically just a bunch of lessons over teaching English as a second language, and you have to read the textbook, and then you have to do quizzes after each chapter, and then you have to do like a final project at the end, which is usually a lesson plan, and submit that, and like, yeah, that kind of thing. They also have different hours, so I recommend getting the 120 hours because that is the certificate, and that's the minimum amount that is accepted worldwide. So if you want to teach in multiple countries, that one is more likely to help you out. They do have lesser hours, like EPIK only requires 100 hours. I'll leave the link down below for the company that I worked with. So the 4th requirement is you have to be mentally and physically healthy. You do have to get a medical exam the first week during orientation, so you can't fake it and say you are healthy when you really aren't. And this is basically just for your own safety, but also for EPIK as well, because they do put a lot of time and effort into hiring people from around the world to work in Korea, and they want somebody who's really reliable and somebody who can handle the stress and the chaoticness that it may come from teaching in a foreign country. And the 5th eligibility requirement, whatever you want to call it, is that you have to have a good understanding of the English language. And the last requirement is you have to be adaptable and you have to accept Korean culture, which is also an obvious. You'll be living within Korean culture, so you just have to keep an open mind and adapt to the situations you're placed in. So this next part is kind of like the guidelines. So EPIK actually has a pay scale, and the pay scale varies depending on where you're placed and what is your background, basically. First off, they sort you into levels, so it goes from 1+ to 3. Now, 3, they used to accept, like 2 or 3 years ago, they accepted level 3s, but they no longer accept level 3s. You have to at least be a 2. Level 1+ is the highest, and the lowest is 3, but again, they no longer accept 3. Based on your credentials, you'll be placed in a level, and that level will dictate your salary, which makes sense. If you do like a year of teaching, you can kind of move up on the pay scale. So that's cool to know. And then also, like I said, it really depends on your placement as well, because each place is paid differently. And then now we are moving on to placement. Now this is probably really scary for some people. So you basically don't know where you're going to be placed in Korea until a month before you're supposed to leave. So be prepared for that. And if you don't get a metropolitan city and you only get a province, you most likely will not know which town or city within the province you will be placed in until orientation, like until you're actually in Korea. So be prepared for that. So yeah, you have to go with the flow. I'll put the list right here of the cities you can possibly be placed in, and then I'll put the list of the provinces you will be placed in, so you can check these out. So you can choose your preference whenever you do apply, but it's not guaranteed. So now we're moving on to the benefits of working with EPIK. So the benefits do vary as well depending on, I think, where you're placed. There are some places that don't have a specific benefit. Again, just check out their website. But the first thing is they give you a settlement allowance. And the settlement allowance is each applicant is given about 300,000 won, which is roughly a little over $250, I think. So you get that. It's a one-time payment just to settle. It's an allowance. The second thing is you get accommodation provided. You get accommodations provided. So you can actually choose your option. You can choose to find your own accommodations, or you can choose to allow the school that you'll be working with to find your own accommodations, and the school will pay for your rent. They won't pay for your utilities or maintenance, but they will pay for your rent. So that's cool. The other third benefit is you get a severance pay. Not really sure what that is. But it's once you complete your contract with whatever school you're working with, you'll be given about a month's salary, which is the severance pay. So, the fourth thing is you get an entrance allowance and contract completion bonus. So this is what got me really excited, because I didn't realize this until I was like done with the interview and like far into the process. But basically, EPIK will pay for your flights to come into Korea and to leave Korea. Once you set up a bank account, they will supply you 1.3 million won, which sounds like a lot to Americans at least, but it's actually like a little under $1,000, I think, or it's a little over $1,000. I'm not entirely sure. I don't know the conversions right now, but it's around 1,000. So they'll pay for you to, so they'll give you that pay whenever you open a bank account in Korea. And then if you, after your contract is over, if you decide you're done, you did a year, you want to go back to your home country, they will also give you that same exact amount of money to leave Korea. However, if you decide to stay, you get a bonus. If you renew your contract with the school that you are working with, you'll be given a renewal bonus, which means more money. So that's cool as well. The fifth thing is you get medical insurance. 50% of your premium is paid by your employer, aka the POE or MOE office that you work with. The sixth thing is you get an orientation. So you are not just thrown, once you land into Korea, you're not just thrown to your school and you have to support yourself and figure things out yourself. EPIK does supply about a week-long orientation where you get to meet other EPIK applicants. You can network if you like to network. I'm not good at networking, so we'll see how that goes. But you can just kind of get situated with the country, with the food, with the language, you know, and with teaching. You're going to be taking classes that will help you, prepare you to start teaching in an actual classroom. And that concludes the part 1 of EPIK application. This was just basically a rundown of what it is, what the requirements are, what the guidelines are, and the benefits, etc. So for those who are interested in applying, I highly recommend check out their website, check out other people's videos, and I will be back with part 2, in which I'll go over the actual application process, what's everything you're going to need, the interview, and then the post-interview documents and all of that craziness, which is gonna be a lot. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.